everybody, it is Sir Plaster here, as you can see by the channel name, and welcome back to another video. And today, before we begin into today's topic, which you probably will see by the name of the video, I have some unfortunate news that may or may not be true on the upcoming game, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. The first thing I'm going to talk about, actually, there's two things. One of them is what I'm going to talk about right now, is the unfortunate part, and the second one is just some fun facts that if you watch Speed Force Legends, my good pal Speed Force Legends, then you probably know what I'm going to talk about soon. So the first thing I'm going to cover is I saw a video recently by the YouTuber fnaf. I will leave a link or somewhat way for you to be able to get into his channel. And basically, he was talking about how we have recently not seen any teasers or new trailers for Security Breach, and that might show that the game will get delayed to 2022 again. Now, I want to put in my opinion on this. I don't think that this is 100% accurate. He's right. We haven't seen a lot of news on the FNAF Security Breach. All we've seen, the last thing we ever saw was in March or February with the new teasers and stuff, and that's just about it. Aside from that, then nothing else. Sorry, just gotta drink some water. And on top of that, we haven't really seen anything else. I was about to say Bloomhouse. No, Steel Wool has been very quiet about this. Has been very quiet about Security Breach. So, but we have to understand that they're working on a very, very big game. Like they said, Help Wanted was only a slice, a fraction of what Security Breach is going to be. So we gotta remember that the main reasons why Security Breach is being delayed is not to do with anything with the virus or stuff like that. It's more to do with development issues in making the game bigger, way, way bigger, so it's more enjoyable. Which, in my opinion, is great. It's great that they're doing that. But, Fatron FNAF said, we haven't seen that much Security Breach news ever since those teasers in that last trailer that we saw in February that was promised to come out in March, but since the State of Play live stream happened on somewhere around the 25th, I think. I can't remember. But I was there for Daco's live stream when it was happening, and Security Breach was on there. So that is, I think, all I have to say on what I think. Now, what exactly, that was basically what I'm going to be talking about next, is the fact how, if this is the case, then I don't really think this is, again, like I said, I don't really think this is the case. That's the case because technically the release date for Security Breach has been leaked because another YouTuber, of course, Fatron FNAF, and his friends went on to, or a friend of his, I can't remember if it was him or one of his friends, I don't know. They went onto the GameStop website, the official GameStop website, typed in FNAF Security Breach, or Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, whatever, and it saw that the release date, or at least there was already a page for it, by the way, there was already a site for it, there was already a thing for it, and it said that the release date was supposed to be December 27th, 2021, so unless Steel Wool is making the game bigger again, then that's going to happen. It's most likely to stay the same, and Steel Wool is just being quiet about it. Because remember, this is kind of like how FNAF 6 is going, how FNAF 6 happened. Now, we didn't know anything about FNAF 6. We originally thought it was canceled, and then, boom, Scott bombshelled us with that. So, that's the number one thing I want to talk about first. The second one is actually a really good announcement, is that FNAF Podcast Episode 2 came out on, I think, last Wednesday, or Tuesday or Wednesday last week. And I was featured on Speed Force Legends channel. He started doing FNAF content after he posted my Golden Freddy voice impression, which is on his channel. and his channel will definitely be in the link in the description. And I wanted to give him a shout out. He's already been doing FNAF stuff, and he's been featuring me on his channel, so I featured him on mine. So the next thing that's gonna be, so I don't know where else we're gonna go, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. So just want to give him a shout out and say that and just say what I thought about the security breach delay rumor that Fetron FNAF came up with. When I say came up with, not like please don't attack him. Like, we still don't know if it's officially going to be delayed because Steelwool hasn't said anything about this. So please don't attack him. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is a new series I'm going to be doing. No, it is not the deep dive into lore episode that I promised. No, not deep dive into lore episode 1, like I promised. Okay, I said that twice. Okay, someone please put a count for how many times I repeat something. Because I think that's probably going to be where everyone enjoys making fun of me, because I just don't know how to form my words correctly, and I'm a big dumb. No, I am starting a new series on my avatar, the Surplustronic. For the record, that's not going to be his official name. That's what I'm calling him for now. For now, his nickname is the Surplustronic, because that's the only name I came up with at the time. But I'm going to be starting a series on that, and it's basically going to be VHS tape style videos where it's going to be like stuff to do with like sister location and stuff, and I think it's going to be really fun. I'll give Speed Force Legends the choice if he wants to do some collaborations on some of the episodes of the series. But besides that, that's all I really have news. I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't know when I'm going to start doing it, but it's probably going to be before Deep Dive into Lore episode 1 happens. Because for the record, Deep Dive into Lore, the series, the Deep Dive into Lore, making one episode is already super hard because I have to do a lot of research and just double check everything before I make the video. Make sure I have all the information. It's really hard stuff. Like I said before, I don't just go on YouTube or go on my phone, make a video and just ramble on about a bunch of stuff that's not gonna happen, and just not even edit video. No, I actually put a lot of time into this stuff. When I made the Nightmare Theory video, that took me a long time to make because I'm like, is this a good choice? Is my theory accurate to what I imagine? Yeah, so Deep Dive into Lore episode 1 will probably take a while. But the Surplustronic series, I'm not going to give it a name yet. I'll probably make another video announcing what the series is going to be called and more on what it's about. Kind of all I'm going to say is that think of Lolbit. That's going to be important later in the video. Think of Lolbit, like a Lolbit-like character fused with a glitch trap personality. That's what's going to happen. That's all I'm going to say, and it takes place in a sister location-like area with a sister location animatronics. That's all I'm going to say. Now let's get on to the main thing. Reap. Advertising mode deactivated. Ugh. Okay, I'm back. Now, as you've probably seen by the title, I am going to be talking about the top 5 most underrated FNAF characters that need more love. Now, for the record, some of these characters are a bit understandable. Some of them, not so much. Especially number 1, most underrated. But the 2 below him, yes, it's a him, are pretty understandable, and I'll get onto that. Alright. So, coming at number 5, so this is least underrated to most underrated. Least underrated FNAF character is Lolbit. Why is she most underrated, the least underrated FNAF character? Well, there's a lot of people like me in the community that absolutely love Lolbit. I mean, I already love Foxy as a character, and I like Funtime Foxy, so and I've always liked Lolbit a bit more anyways. And it's because Lolbit's one of the many characters, one of the only characters, I think DD as well, is one of the only characters to start off as non-canon, and then later on become a canon character in the official games that are part of the series. Like, she first started off in FNAF World, and then it's this location custom night where you can customize her technically, but though that still wasn't canon. But then she was last seen in Ultimate Custom Night as a unlockable character that Dee Dee can summon you, which she also started in FNAF World. So henceforth, she became a canon character after being in Ultimate Custom Night, which is canon in the in the universe. And she's in FNAF VR Help Wanted as well. So there's not, and also just stuff to do with her design, and also just the kind of character she is. And I find her to be one of the many important characters. And if you guys want, I could do a theory of a short, like a mini theory video on exactly what Lolbit is. If it's like a scrapped William Afton project, maybe William Afton used programmed was a purposely made Lolbit to basically hack animatronics or hack the systems of Freddy Fazbear so the animatronics would go rogue and kill everyone. Let me know if you in the comments below if you want to see that. Alright, so that was number 5, Lolbit. Alright, coming at number 4, the second least underrated FNAF character is Shadow Bonnie. Now, I understand if you say, oh, well, but Sir Plaster, Shadow Bonnie's old news, you know. He's been around since FNAF 2, and he's not really that big of a character. The only time he's really important is FNAF 3, and that's it. No. The reason why I find Shadow Bonnie to be a lot more important is because, one, we already kind of know what Shadow Freddy is. Technically just William Afton in a purple Freddy suit to begin with. And there's other theories aligning with that, but I ignore those ones, but I might do. There's actually another theory video I plan on doing, which is the 2 Shadow Freddys theory, so please give that support eventually, please. Someone please start a please count. Oh my god, that sounds ridiculous. Anyways, then, basically, but Shadow Bonnie, on the other hand, you know, he's a lot more weird. He starts off in FNAF 2 because when you see Shadow Bonnie in FNAF 2, if you stare at him, your entire game will crash. Shadow Bonnie, he has a way more important role. You play as him in one of the secret mini-games to get the good ending in FNAF 3. And then he appears again in Ultimate Custom Night as another secret character, and then he appears again in FNAF AR as the technical main antagonist of that game, which henceforth leads to a theory of mine that Shadow Bonnie is actually an Agony Guardian, a creature made by Remnant, Agony, whatever, and basically is used to guard the secrets of Remnant. The same way how Good Boy, if you know Trevor Henderson, Good Boy his job is to guard the humans away from the supernatural world. So that's kind of what I think of Shadow Bonnie, and Shadow Bonnie gets a lot of love anyways, but he's still not very popular like the other ones. Alright, so that was number 4, Shadow Bonnie. I just realized we're going through this video quite quickly. Alright, coming at number 3 is Grim Foxy from the Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted Curse of Dreadbear DLC. Now, this is where you're probably going to say, oh, well, Sir Plaster, the only reason why you like him is that he was the icon of your channel for like a short week or two. So, and, you know, and like you said, he gives you Ghost Rider vibes, so there's probably nothing else about him that you like. Well, no. It's more than that, just that. Well, for one, the Curse of Dreadbear DLC is obviously my favorite FNAF DLC, more than FNAF 4 Halloween Edition, which it was pretty hard to beat. Which, in case you don't know, FNAF 4 Halloween Edition is just literally the Halloween edition of FNAF 4. But, ignore that. But the reason why Grim Foxy sparks the most to me, not just because, you know, he's in a DLC, he was the icon of my channel for a little bit before the Sir Plastronic, or that's what he's going to be called for now, took over. It's also because he's a very creepy fake character, and I really wish that instead of Nightmare Mangle, as much as it would make sense, instead of Nightmare Mangle, we could have gotten like a Jacko Foxy or a Jacko Foxy or something, and I feel like he would be perfect for that. And also just because he's awesome in the Corn Maze, and also just because hardly anyone cares about the DLC characters, which leads on to number 2, most underrated. Alright, coming at number 2 is the one himself, another character from the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, And my friend Speed Force Legends' third favorite FNAF character of all time, Dreadbear. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Sir Plaster's the same thing as Grim Foxy. He's just a DLC character. He doesn't mean anything. No. No, no, no. So, yes, he is a DLC character. However, both Speed Force Legends and I both think that Dreadbear is much more than just a DLC character. It could mean much more. Like, such as, well, for an example, Dreadbear is a Frankenstein-like monster because, well, because of like a Frankenstein-like character because of the Dreadbear mini game in the mansion section in the DLC of Help Wanted, and it also could also start an also count. start literally in anything count of anything I say twice, or at least over 6 times. Anyway, and start an anyways count because that's basically kind of like how Speed Force Legends says Daddy likes the metal. Also comment down below. I'm starting that. I'm gonna keep that trend alive the same way Speed Force Legends is. Start the trend. Daddy likes the metal. Okay, do it on my channel too because I like it, and also Tony likes the metal, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. Freddy likes the metal. Well, more like Freddy likes the glove. No. Moving on. And we also we think, or at least I think, that William Afton actually created Dreadbear somewhat as a demonic spirit because of William Afton, like what he did with Remnant. He obviously tested and played with demons, obviously, and spirits and things like that, and continued to get haunted by them, and of course with the dark rituals he did, then henceforth that. Of course, it comes along the line of him just simply being the main antagonist of Help Wanted as well, and people only usually know him for just being a DLC character and nothing else, so that's why he's the second most underrated. Alright, coming at number 1, which in my opinion, and Speed Force Legends' opinion, is a very shocking one. We both believe this character needs a lot more love. I've mentioned him a lot of times on my channel. It is Nightmare. Just simple Nightmare from FNAF 4. The true main antagonist of that game. Now, I don't understand why Nightmare is not an underrated character, because Nightmare is not Nightmare Fredbear's shadow, because, well, seriously, if Nightmare was just Nightmare Fredbear's shadow, then why would Scott put Nightmare in there anyways? And plus, Nightmare is transparent. You can see a human brain, a human spine in him, and other human organs. So henceforth, there's no way he could be the exact same. And also because, well, we haven't seen anything of Nightmare since Ultimate Custom Night, which is funny because both of those take place in a similar idea. Because FNAF 4, you're technically playing in both a nightmare and in reality, and in both a nightmare and technically reality. But of course, I think it's just complete reality. While in Ultimate Custom, he's literally used as a character that William Afton has to go off against when he's in hell and against Golden Freddy. But never have we seen Nightmare appear in any other game aside from FNAF World, but that's not canon, and I might do another video on that later. But besides from that, we haven't seen Nightmare at all. We've seen Nightmarion, we've seen Nightmare Fredbear in FNAF VR, but never Nightmare. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. This is more proof that Nightmare is an unknown anomaly, something that is like only something that one person could see, or at least more than one person can see. William Afton and someone else. But theories aside, that's all I have for today's video. Honestly, it's nearly going to be 20 minutes, and it's a very short video, because these underrated characters don't really have a lot to be underrated. There's a lot. I could go on and on about like what's great about these characters, but I honestly don't know. I really don't. And aside from that, I think that's it. Alright? Alright, my followers. that was today's story. Now, make sure to check your closet before you go to bed, because you'll never know what's inside. Sweet dreams.